Alternative Radio, live at Electric Daisy Carnival, New York.
EDC Electric Daisy Carnival, historic event. I'm here with manufactured superstars. How are you guys doing?
Yo, what up? We're happy.
Happy, just finished, hot, sweaty.
I know you guys just had a great set. I never heard you guys live. I've heard tons of your productions before, but I did know that I was going to be expecting some more of a mashup kind of setup, and I really enjoyed what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, we worked really hard. We played last night with Tiesto in Vegas, and the whole time we left around 10 p.m. We were working on the plane until 5 this morning, trying to do some custom edits, just try to keep it fresh, different, you know?
Yeah, it's hard when you're playing with such good artists like Sunray, James Ryan Marciano, Chucky, Dirty South, Afrojack. We know what those guys play, so we want to make sure that we make sure we don't want to play anything they're going to play, and if something's more familiar, we want to make sure it has a different twist to it, a little manufactured superstars.
Yeah. It's one of the things the DJs got to learn. You got to respect the big guys, you know what I mean? So, like, if you're playing before Afrojack, you got to make sure you don't touch anything he might go towards.
We have so many good Afrojack tracks.
He's made so many over the last few years.
He's fucking crazy.
Yeah. But what exactly drove you guys to play more of a mashup kind of set, generally speaking? Because as far as I know, this is how you guys normally play when you play out, rather than play like long, extended kind of mixes.
I mean, it kind of started when we first started doing this, that we wanted to be kind of the bridge between pop music and hip hop and dance music. I always said to people that like went to hip hop clubs and say, I can make you like dance music, and we always wanted to be kind of those DJs that brought people over. Seemingly now, like everybody's kind of has that same philosophy, but that's always been our philosophy. We used to play a little bit even more crazy. We used to play quite a bit of hip hop, 80s, disco, a lot of old house, and but we always play the same BPM, and we play a little bit slower than the rest of the DJ. So that's kind of our secret sauce, is to make it easier to get into like a hip hop sample or an R&B sample or something like that.
I mean, the other thing we really do is we just try to keep it fun. I mean, people got to remember it's all about the kids having a good time. Like, they don't take it serious. They want to have a good time and have fun. They want to hear music they can sing to. They want to hear new music they've never heard. So we just really try to keep it fresh, go through tunes real quick, lots of edits.
We have one demographic, 21-year-old girls. If a 21-year-old girl likes a song, we'll play it.
Yeah.
That's who we care about.
The 34-year-old guy doesn't like it, too bad. He'll come for the 21-year-old girls.
You guys are aiming in the right direction. And to start off with Snoop Dogg and to even have some drum and bass in your set, I definitely respect the fact you guys can cover a wide amount of genres. Let's talk a little bit about, I just was on your website today, checked out your Born to Rock video, which is really, really cool. What exactly was the genesis of that song, and how was it making that video?
It was pretty crazy because we actually were doing a remix for Tiesto. He had a track called Boys Will Be Boys, called We Rock, and we actually put the Shakedown acapella over the top of it when we DJ it. And then we were doing a remix. I was like, hey Tice, can we put a vocal on it? And he's like, yeah. And then the vocal was a little bit more soulful than he wanted, so we're gonna keep that. Just use it for our own original track. Is that cool? He said,
the girl that did the vocals, actually Selena Albright, Gerald Albright's daughter, the famous saxophone player, jazz musician. Yeah, she lives in Denver. Amazing, talented artist. So we've worked with her. She's done 2 tracks with us so far. So, I mean, we're really happy. We got a bunch of tunes coming out this summer, a lot of stuff on Atlantic, Big Beat. I mean, we're really excited to, show the world all the shit we've been working on all winter.
So shout out to, you mentioned Big Beat, shout out to Gina Tucci, Craig Kalman, all those guys over there. They're definitely doing great things in dance music.
We'll hang out with them all tomorrow.
And you guys, as far as dance music goes, for our listeners that don't know, you guys are you guys are like the Mark Zuckerberg of dance music. You guys.
That's the first time we've ever heard that one. Thank you for the blessing. I wish we were Mark Zuckerberg.
He has a nice little bank account now.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you guys started Beatport, Beatport.com, the largest dance music portal in the world. And it's almost like you guys came at the exact right time. You guys came at a time when people were shifting from physical to digital as far as purchasing singles. So talk a little bit about the evolution of Beatport coming from 2004 to today.
I mean, really, Brad was a promoter in Denver, and he kind of saw the evolution of all the DJs. Richie Houghton and all these people were starting to play Final Scratch, and CDJs were starting to kind of come into the mix. And it was just the right place, right time. I mean, him and, it wasn't just us. There was a whole group of people, 7 of us that all kind of came together. And really just, when we first started, people thought we were crazy. We're like, oh, we want to sell MP3s. People were like, oh, they're going to play vinyl forever. No MP3s, no MP3s. Huh? Yeah, for sure. Because DJs were true.
The label's biggest asset is their back catalog, and so to digitize it and give it to a portal that's not necessarily going to sell millions of downloads the first year. It was a big risk that all the labels took to give us the music, and we really saw that it just, the whole path in the whole world from analog to digital, it was all the exact same time. You could just see the world was going in a digital format, and it's just much more convenient. You have so much more access to music. You can play much more music. You can carry more music. So we just knew the DJs were going to have a content provider, and there was about 10 other portals that started the exact same time with us, and most of them are still around. But we really were key on building a brand as well as the content, because at the beginning the content wasn't the best, and we always said content's king. If you have the best catalog, people will come. But we had to build a cool brand as well, and having an office in Berlin, being partners with Native Instruments, really helped, the authenticity and the coolness of Beatport, and I think still today we have a really cool brand.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are solidified yourselves as a major brand in dance music. I was going to ask, there are so many websites doing exactly what you guys do, but you kind of answered the question already. It's in content, it's in aligning your
time, keeping the website up, making sure it works, making sure we have relevant advertising. Like, we don't sell advertising on Beatport. It's picked by what we deem as experts. We got a lot of 18 to 25-year-old kids that go out every single night to dubstep parties, techno parties in Berlin, in South America and Asia, and they know what's hot. They know who the next Jamie Jones, who the next Skrillex, who the next Porter Robinson, all these kids coming up. One of the coolest things for me, I was a drum and bass DJ back in the day, is just watching Beatport build artists. Deadmau5 came from Beatport, Afrojack came from Beatport, all these guys, and they've all shown us so much love, and it's just amazing, to just see the evolution of DJs, just be able to kind of jump in with the online world, where in the past it had to, you had to get a major label deal if you were a hip hop artist, this and that. Deadmau5 had no deal. He put 2 songs on Beatport, and now he's arguably the biggest producer in the world, so it's just crazy how it's all happened.
And just while I have you guys here, how exactly, because I've always wondered this, how exactly does a producer get featured on Beatport?
It's completely editorial pick. So we have a label service team and a merchandising team, and they're different departments. Label management gets the tracks. Merchandising actually markets and picks all the slides and who's featured in the emails and stuff like that. So there's genre experts in each one. So it's completely editorial.
We really tried to make it like a record store. I don't know. I grew up in New York, actually, and going to Satellite Records or Breakbeat Science or anything. There was some dude who everybody thought was hip who would pick the records. The new Andy C track, the new Sasha track came up. He would pick them, and that's kind of how we do Beatport. It's like everybody has their own genre, and they pick. The kid that likes deep house is the deep house specialist, and he goes through however many 1,000 tracks every week and picks out the ones that he thinks are going to be jams.
There's literally fist fights in the office. For the entire history of Beatport, every week is the most important week, and so you have people going to fight for what's going to be featured and stuff like that. And that's what we want. We want passion about music. You want people that care about the labels and care about the artists, and know what's going to be hot. And we have to be right on that type of stuff.
We're OG. We've been doing this for a long time, about 15 years. Brad's been throwing raves and stuff in Colorado for 15 years. I grew up here going to the Limelight back in the day. So we've been around, since it was, building.
You guys have brought the site a long way, because I remember back in 2006, you did an interview over at downshifteradio.com in Queens, and that was, I think Beatport have only been around for about 2 years at that time. So to see what you guys have become, and you've done such great things at Winter Music Conference, and really putting a staple on not only dance music here in America but around the world. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Don't steal music. Buy music.
Exactly.
Buy it. I don't care where you buy it, but just buy it. These artists these labels need it. Without them buying music, they can't buy the new gear and make the next dubstep track or electro house or electro fusion, whatever the hell's next.
The next Skrillex is sitting in a bedroom right now making a track, listening to this interview. and he'll be on Beatport in 6 months.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's the craziest thing. All the up and coming producers, you can do it. People have shown over and over and over again. Like I said, Porter Robinson, Skrillex, Avicii, all those guys 3 years ago were, nowhere near the status they are now. And then got Skrillex winning 3 Grammys. Crazy.
It's the democracy of dance music, really.
It ain't stopping.
Yeah, and back to as far as music, your music, you guys have a new track out with LA Riots. You want to talk a little bit about that?
It was a pop track we started. Then Daniel's a good friend of ours. We actually did the Identity Festival with him last year. We were on a tour bus together. He literally became our brother after about a week of sleeping 2 feet from each other. Good friend. He plays in Denver a lot, and we always wanted to do a tune. So we had the vocal, kind of went back and forth, and the next thing you know, we got a tune, and we love it. We played it tonight. We played one of the remixes tonight. It was great.
Yeah, we had about 60 or 70% of the track done, and we were stuck, and wasn't progressing. He's like, hey, let's work on a track. We're like, tell me what you think about this, and he's like, a week later, he almost had it. We threw it back and forth, and before you know, it's really fun to be able to collaborate with other artists, especially on a project that we really were passionate about and hadn't finished.
I really think the most fun is collaborating with other artists, and/or it's like Christmas when we get remixes back. Like we finish a track and send it to Calvin Harris or something like that, get a remix back. I'll call Brad. I'm like, oh, we're so excited. Let's listen to it. We're like listening to it on the phone together,
It's been great talking with you guys.
What's up, man?
Definitely, you guys have done some great things and had a great set. I enjoyed it thoroughly. The crowd was into it. We definitely got this
So
on
good
and
to be
popping.
back in New York City. We love it.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Manufactured Superstars, what?
Blowing the speakers up. Pump it up radio.